Today I want to talk about Baker Mayfield. Maybe a month ago, he made the comments about Duke Johnson. Get on the train, get off the train. That was not the right way to handle that. I think everybody knows that. He's still your teammate. You can't talk about him like that. You can't throw him under the bus and make him the bad guy. He's been there longer than you anyway. Okay? You don't need to go in there and run your mouth about guys that have been on the team. That's just going to make other guys angry. Okay? Don't do that. I know you're just trying to make it seem like you're the starting quarterback and you're the guy that everybody needs to be okay with, but not the way to do it, man. Not the way to do it. The man's just trying to get paid. The man's just trying to make a living. It's nothing personal against you. It's nothing personal against the Cleveland Browns. He just didn't like what they did about Kareem Hunt, and I don't think anybody else does. You can't blame the guy for that. He has his own free will. If he doesn't want to play for the Browns, then he deserves to go somewhere where he wants to play. It is what it is. And it's not up to Baker Mayfield to make that decision, and I know that drives Baker Mayfield crazy. So, the newest thing that he's done to piss everyone off is went on a radio show and called out the University of Texas quarterback, Sam Ellinger. Why? Why? This is your second year removed from college. You're not a college kid anymore. You're a grown man in the NFL. You're a grown quarterback. Okay? You don't see Jared Goff going back and commenting on guys that they think suck. You don't see Carson Wentz throwing guys under the bus, okay? Just shut up. Just stop. Stop. Everybody knows you won a Heisman. Great. Congratulations. You didn't even make the playoffs last year. Okay? I don't care what your odds are to win the Super Bowl. I don't care. Okay? I watched the, 07-08 Eagles? The Donovan McNabb, Terrell Owens super team, greatest Philadelphia Eagles team ever that couldn't even win a conference championship. Does that sound familiar? This whole experiment of taking all the guys that no one else wants could pan out, or it could end in a terrible disaster with everyone hating each other and the Browns losing everything that they've got for next to nothing when they have to clear house, because this doesn't work. Because what you're doing is you're building an offense full of guys that have to have the ball to feel like they're doing something. And you're not going to be able to get them all the ball at the same time. That's not how football works. It's not like basketball where you can pass the guy the ball every single time you go down the court. That's not going to happen. Odell's not going to get thrown to every down. Jarvis Landry's not going to get thrown to every down. Nick Chubb's not going to get the ball every single handoff. Nick Chubb's probably the only one that's okay with that. But with Kareem Hunt waiting in the backfield till week 8, I think he's suspended till, you're just going to have a lot of guys that are pissed off that they're not touching the ball enough. And on defense, you've got a bunch of guys that were okay at some point, but on paper, a lot of things look great, right? A lot of teams have looked absolutely unstoppable over the years. Look at the Patriots. You got Tom Brady and Randy Moss. You're not going to lose, except they did, to a terrible Giants team. Don't tell me the Giants were good that year. Don't tell me that. I watched it. I know. Okay? The Giants, pure dumb luck. They wanted it more than the Patriots did that day. And I feel like that's the way that the Browns are going to end up. Is the Browns are going to end up having all the talent in the world. They could win any game in the world if they all were on the same page and they all wanted it bad enough. But it's going to be so hard as a second-year quarterback, second-year head coach, second-year general manager, second-year everything. All these guys are coming in year 2. And you're expecting Super Bowl or bust now? That's too much. That's too much. You're putting way too much on these guys. Way too much. You can't come out in year 2 in a team that's not made the playoffs in years. And what their last winning record was, I mean, other than this year, was like 2008. And even before then, they were terrible for 10 years. They had one good year. You're putting a lot of pressure on these guys, man. You don't see Cliff Kingsbury coming out saying, "Oh, me and Kyler Murray's going to win 14 games next year." He'll pass for 5,500 yards and have 65 touchdowns. He'll outdo Patrick Mahomes. But yet you've got Baker Mayfield out here saying everybody's trash but me. I'm the best quarterback in the NFL, and I haven't proven anything. Not even won a playoff game. Had to beat the Ravens to get to the playoffs last year. Couldn't do it. Threw an interception. Watched it happen. Threw it right to C.J. Mosley. C.J. Mosley is one of the worst pass coverage linebackers in football. Threw it right to him. Caught it. You can't tell me Baker Mayfield is the most elite quarterback in the NFL, because he's not. He's not. They have, on paper, the most elite roster in football right now. On paper. On paper means nothing in football. Okay? There's plenty of times on paper teams should have been great. Don't know if you guys even watch basketball. What was it? 6 years ago, the Lakers had Dwight Howard, Steve Nash, Kobe Bryant. Everybody said, they'll be unstoppable. They've got one of the best big men in basketball. They've got Steve Nash, one of the greatest point guards that ever lived, and you've got Kobe. How can they not win rings? Guess what? They didn't. They won nothing. They won nothing. Nothing. You cannot say Super Bowl or bust year 2 with guys that have never even touched the field together. Odell's rolling out in a brown Bentley or Rolls Royce or whatever he bought and then made horrible. And that's fine. That's his own prerogative. That's his own money. Great for him. I'm glad he's proud of the team he's playing on. But they're still the Browns. Okay? Let's all just chill out a minute. It's still the Browns. They're still the Browns. If they come out next year and win and go 10-0, great. Fantastic. There's no franchise in the NFL, maybe other than the Lions, that deserves more wins than they do. But the problem is they're not going to go 10-0. They're not going to get double-digit wins. I see them struggling to make the playoffs. We've got a long way to go before that gets here. There's a lot of roster changes that still could happen between now and then. None, I think, substantial enough to change anything that I've said thus far. But when they're struggling to beat the Steelers this year, think about this video, okay? Because I know everybody's thinking the Steelers are on the downturn, and yes, I do not like the Steelers. I'm a Ravens fan. I don't like the Steelers and I don't like the Patriots, but I can acknowledge that they win a lot. And they don't really care how much talent they have on the roster because they know how to win. And somebody needs to get a hold of Baker Mayfield and tell him to shut up. Stop. You're digging yourself such a hole. He may not be a bad guy. He doesn't come off as that bad of a person. But you can't just trash every other person that doesn't agree with you. People have the right to disagree about anything. You can't just come out and call a guy trash and say, I know he doesn't like me and I don't like him, and that's fine. This is a college kid, man. It's a kid in college. You're a professional quarterback, professional NFL player, and you're taking shots at a college quarterback? Give me a break, man. Come on. That's the most unprofessional thing I've seen in a long time. And it's not the way to win Super Bowls. It's not the way to win anything. Great, he came out last year and won Rookie of the Year. Set the record for most yards and most touchdowns. Great. Still didn't make the playoffs. You can have all the personal accomplishments you want and all the personal accolades you want. But until you win something, you're not much. In the grand scheme of things, man, there's been a lot of really good football players throughout the years, and they've not been able to win. There's been some great quarterbacks. Peyton Manning only has 2 rings. Peyton Manning's the best quarterback I've ever seen. Peyton Manning has the best tape of any quarterback I've ever watched. Arguably Tom Brady's up there because he's so smart. But Peyton has the best pre-snap read. Just he knows what you're going to do before you're going to do it. Quarterback. He was smarter than anybody on the field at any given time. And that's what you had to be afraid of with Peyton. With Peyton, you weren't terrified that he was going to run around you, or, he was going to outsmart you before he was going to do anything else. I'm not worried about Baker Mayfield outsmarting me. If I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm not worried about it. I'm not. He's scrappy. He might get a good play in. He might get outside the pocket and make something happen. He might break off a big run. But he's not. It's not going to be by design. He's not going to do it on purpose. Okay? It's going to be out of need and necessity, just like Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray runs because he has to, not because he wants to. You can see it when he runs. He runs to get open to make a pass. He runs to where he can get open and he can make that play and throw that pass. He's not trying to Michael Vick it. He's not trying to get outside the pocket and break loose and juke guys. That's not the deal. So they've got a lot to prove. They've proved nothing to me, and I'm not on the bandwagon anywhere close to it. I'm not even in the same area code as the bandwagon. But these kids they're already messing up, man. You're trashing, especially Baker. Everybody else on the team, just chill out and do your own thing. Great, fine, but you got to wrangle your quarterback in, man. You can't just be out here throwing everybody under the bus, and then you guys are just like, well, you're a quarterback, what are you going to do? That's not how it works, man. Everybody's going to be on the same page. Everybody has to be on the same page, especially in football. Especially a young quarterback with a young head coach, or a second-year head coach at the very least. Second-year general manager, I think, with John Dorsey. But Baker Mayfield, stop. Stop trashing people. They don't care about you. I can assure you. Sam Ehlinger does not care about you. He's a whole lot more worried about the scouts and the combine that's coming up, long before he's worried about you. Okay? And as far as Duke Johnson, I'm sure you're the last thing on Duke Johnson's mind. The first thing on Duke Johnson's mind is money. I want to get paid. Because I've been a good number 2 back, and I deserve to get paid. And that's just how Duke Johnson feels. And they brought in Kareem Hunt, who probably doesn't deserve to get paid to play football. Like Tyreek Hill at this point. Okay? We can make it okay all you want to. He's not going to play on my team. If I'm an owner, if I'm a coach, if I'm a general manager, get that dude out of my locker room. I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't want any toxicity in the locker room. I don't want it. Belichick it. Anybody that's in the locker room that makes a stir, out. I don't want you. Get out. Trade them. Ship them off. I don't care. Get them out of my locker room. There's a reason the Patriots win. There's a reason the Steelers won. And then they kind of started letting Ben run everything, and look where they are now. They've let these guys get big egos, and all of a sudden, you got a bunch of max exodus happening, and you can't really figure out why. So, if I'm Freddie Kitchens, number one thing I'm doing is I'm calling Baker Mayfield, and I'm saying, stop. Stay off social media. Stay off the internet. Stay off the radio. Stay off of everything that you're on, that you're just running your mouth on. Just stop. You know what I mean? Just go to training camp. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Whatever. Make your appearances. Make your rounds. I think we're going to go out there and compete this year. We're going to do our best to make the playoffs. Rah, rah, go Cleveland Browns. Cleveland rocks. Whatever. But stop. Stop making it about everybody else. Stop making it about Baker Mayfield is better than you and you and you. I don't care. This is not the Baker Mayfield show. This is the Cleveland Browns that are finally have the potential to be good for the first time since ever. They went to a few Super Bowls, they lost. It's the only memory I have of them. This has got to be about the Cleveland Browns coming back. This has got to be the rising of the Phoenix Cleveland Browns from the ashes, finally getting their shot after they got screwed for so many times. This doesn't need to be the Cleveland Browns, the Baker Mayfield.
I hope it will help you to do a better job.